The next question we're going to look at is the really important question for anthropologists, which is, what are the concepts of ethnocentrism and cultural relativism? So these two concepts are essential to look at the world through the lens of anthropology, right? Hence the name of your textbook, right? The lens of cultural anthropology. So the approach that we take as anthropologists is to sort of reject the first idea and embrace the second. So the idea that we reject is ethnocentrism. And this is the idea that the things that we do as a group, as a culture, as a society are normal, natural, good, beautiful. And then other people, because they do things that are different from us, those people are weird, abnormal, right? Disgusting, evil, even. So where does ethnocentrism come from? Well, I think a lot of it comes from just not knowing, right? Not understanding why people do the things that they do. Maybe also from fear, fear that somehow the practices or the beliefs of other people, because they're not the same as you, will somehow affect you in negative ways. I have a picture here of some really tasty looking insect sushi. Because I want you to think about ethnocentrism as something that comes in varying degrees, right? So if you looked at this picture and you went, oh my God, yuck, like that's totally normal. For me, at least, from my ethnocentric perspective, because I also look at this and I think, oh no, I could never eat that. So the things that we're used to, right? Like the things that we identify as food. The rice is food, the bugs are not, to my mind. That is a way to understand and operate in the world, right? So because insects in the United States aren't considered food, but they're considered generally pests, we don't classify them in the same category of food. Nonetheless, people all over the world get their protein through insects. They don't have that same yuck factor that we do when we think about eating bugs. Maybe some of you have tried bugs and you like them or you don't mind them. Myself, I've also tried bugs. I especially liked, what did we eat? We made a sort of orzo pasta with some mealworms. The mealworms, when you toast them up with a little olive oil, they smelled and tasted just like roasted almonds. They were actually delicious. So my yuck factor is lowered quite a bit. Doesn't mean I want to eat sushi with these fine-looking caterpillar-like antennaed friends on them. So we have different degrees of ethnocentrism, right? But as a practice, as an anthropologist, I'm not going to denigrate someone or speak negatively about someone if they choose to eat bugs, just because that's the way that they do things, right? And it's different from the way that I do things. I have really no right to do that because we've grown up in different environments. So that leads me to cultural relativism, which is sort of the opposite idea. This is the thing that anthropologists embrace, which is the idea that all cultures are equally valid, and that we can only understand the way that people think and behave if we understand the whole culture, right? Holistically or in an integrated way. Anthropology is a social science, right? We attempt to be objective. We attempt to describe people's behaviors and analyze them in a larger context, right? So because of that, we have to be very careful not to be subjective or opinionated or biased when we are studying another culture, when we are talking to people and getting information about the things that they think or the things that they do. So cultural relativism is at the heart of what we do as anthropologists.